Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request for Ciaran. Thank you so much for that. I apologize for the lateness of it. Trying to get to these as soon as I can. But for those interested in requesting any type of videos, whether it be a topic, reaction, commentary, review, re-review, random streams, commentaries, video game playthroughs for an hour or full playthrough, whatever the case may be, feel free. I'll get to as soon as I can. PayPal's usually the best way to do it. Do have a Cash App as well. Links are down below, and for those who sent them, thank you. I really do appreciate it. So this is for Doctor Who, The Seeds of Doom, which it stars Tom Baker, which I believe is the guy that played Doctor Who the longest. He played him for 7 seasons, from the 70s to the 80s. And I remember whenever I tried to watch Doctor Who back in the day, I think just as a kid, I just didn't want to have the patience for it. We had 4 channels, 2 CBS, 1 ABC, 1 PBS. And PBS, whenever Doctor Who came on, it was always this guy I saw as Doctor Who, Tom Baker. So they reran his stuff a lot. And I would say, like, I've seen a couple of the Doctor Who stuff. I would say so far he is my favorite, because he has this kind of, some would say he looks like Harpo Marx, but he has this bit where he's got a nice twinkle sense of humor to him. He can be very intense when he's angry, but at the same time he has this kind of off quality that works well, since he's supposed to be an alien. But again, he has this way of words where he could be like kind of smart ass at times, and kind of like this smirk that he really worked well. I can see why a lot of people that's their favorite Doctor Who. I remember like looking into this Seeds of Doom. I'm like, damn, this is 6 episodes, so this is gonna be like over 2.5 hours long. Now, I don't think it needed to be that long. I think one of these parts could have been taken out. I think this could have been at most 4 or 5 parts. I don't think it needed to be 6. I think part 4, for the most part, could have been just taken out. And I think that would have made things go a bit faster, a bit smoother. With that said, though, I did like this. Yes, the production quality of the Doctor Who, I don't know how to put it. It looks like people set up a play. I don't know. I know this sounds stupid with the way it's shot, but like it doesn't have the biggest production value when it's some of the creature designs are not high tech, but I liked some of the environments they had. I liked the ideas of this style movie. Season, I don't know how you put it, like little mini series, how you want to put it, mini series. I think that on top of Tom Baker, and I kind of was interested to see where the story was going. And I like that there's kind of like 2 set focal points of environments. There's the Arctic, and then there's pretty much this guy's mansion that has a greenhouse, and it is pretty much dealing with plant life, alien plant life that wants to take over and almost become like Day of the Triffids. And like I said, the story kept me intrigued and hooked, where I'm kind of like, where is this going? Where are we going with this? So I would say, other than part 4, which I'll get to, the rest of it I thought went faster than I thought, which I appreciated. But the setup is scientists find this plant pod in the Arctic. They call in. One of the people they decide to send is Tom Baker, which the first time we see him, he's having like a yo-yo playing around with it. So him and this assistant, what's her name, Sarah? I'm bad with names. I'm so bad with names. I want to say it was Sarah. I don't know why I cannot remember. But anyway, the two of them, I gotta look this up. Yeah, it is Sarah, his companion. Elizabeth Sladen as Sarah. The two of them go down there, but before they did, well, they go down there. Also, someone working in the department that Doctor Who's at, one of them is a turncoat asshole that goes to this guy named Chase, who loves plants. He loves plants more than people. He'll pay any money for it. And the guy goes, hey, there's this weird plant life, and seems like one of a kind. Well, he sent me the coordinates. I'm going to pay you a lot of money. And I'm going to send two henchmen. One of them is a guy named Storby. And I'm going to send two henchmen over there, and they're going to get it. So they're on the way. Doctor Who and his companion Sarah get there. They talk to the scientists. Of the three scientists, one of them, the pod opened up, and this tentacle came out and grabbed the guy. And he starts changing. Now, yes, the effects looks like they just put a bunch of green shit on them, and it's not John Carpenter's The Thing. But I mean, this is what, 1976? I forget what year this came out. Late 70s. So to expect those kind of effects for a TV budget is unfair. That's like the amount of effects in Star Trek, the original show. It's like, that's not really fair. And hell, it's still more charming than there was a bunch of stupid CGI shit. So I'm not really going to complain that much. But it starts going over the guy's body, he starts changing, and Doctor Who says this reminds me of this. I cannot pronounce what he said. The Taylors, the Tayleys, I should have had that written down. God, what was that called? The WACP, the KKK, the KKK members. They're aliens, and they're part of the KKK. That's a movie, or that should be a movie one day. You find out the KKK members are aliens. Krynoid, KRY Noid, Krynoid. No, start with a K. And that how usually we eat the plants, but here with them, the plants eat the people. And Doctor Who mentions this to mean all life on Earth are in deep trouble and deep shit. The blood is turned to vegetable soup. It's like this galactic weed. And by the end of the first part, the guy gets up, strangles someone else. And it's actually kind of violent. I mean, obviously for TV you don't see blood or stuff, but there's a decent amount of people that die. There's a lot of stuff that's inferred. I mean, there's a soldier that gets put into this thing where there's a big, meat grinder, and you get the idea that the guy's going towards it. Now it cuts away, and then you never see that guy again, but in your mind you think, my God, that guy got grinded in the meat grinder. So, there's stuff inferred, because they're not going to show blood and shit, especially not overseas. Even the US, they wouldn't really show that on TV. But definitely a lot of inferred, a lot of strangulation. So definitely maybe a bit more violent than you would think. And like I said, Tom Baker just has this great way of words where when he's describing the creature that's loose, he's like, it's a grotesque parody of the human form. Or when the other two arrive and our characters don't know that they're two henchmen, and they're like, what's going on? Wait, there's a maniac on the loose? What's going on? Well, it's loose, and probably the only place it could come back is here. You mean it'll come back here? It's a comforting thought, isn't it? Like the way he says that. Or way he's determined. Nothing is hopeless. Just have to think. There's a bit where there's an explosion. They find him later. Doctor, are you okay? Are you okay? And he wakes up and goes, good morning. Like, he has this fun, quirky type to him that makes him interesting as a lead, as a Doctor Who type of character. And I did, like I said, that and his unique look with the scarf, I can see why a lot of people think he's the top guy for Doctor Who. Not everybody does, but I can see why. The ones I've seen so far, I would say he's my favorite so far. And honestly, I would say of all, like, I haven't reviewed a lot of Doctor Who stuff. I reviewed a bit of the season 1. I forgot, I'm so bad with names. When they rebooted, came back with it, and the first episode was the mannequins coming to life. Then I reviewed the older episode, the mannequins. So I reviewed a couple. I would say so far, this is my favorite one so far I've seen of Doctor Who. Not just because of Tom Baker's performance, but I like the Arctic setting in the beginning that reminds you of John Carpenter's The Thing and other stuff. It's isolated, it's cold, and so that's always a great environment for horror because of how isolated you are. I mean, the idea of plant monsters that's willing to eat people, that's a fun B-movie idea. The fact that they not only have to deal with this creature, but they have to deal with these henchmen having guns on them as well. By part 2, they're searching for it. They get caught by the 2 henchmen. They're tied up. They're warned. They grab the girl Sarah. They go over to where this other generator's at. They decide to blow it up. Doctor Who escapes. Gets to the girl, saves her. There's a time bomb. They lock the creature in. They get out. The whole thing explodes. It's just the 2 henchmen got away because they found another pod, so they took that pod with them. But at least this other creature's dead. Then by the time you get to part 3, Doctor Who and Sarah are found, and he's like, "Hey, good morning. How's it going?" And they want to figure out where those henchmen came from and where did they go. The 2 henchmen take the pod. They go to this asshole Chase. And Doctor Who, again, I liked some of the dialogue, like his way of words, where he's trying to explain to his superiors, however you want to put them, the people he's working with, which one of them is a two-faced prick, working with Chase. But like, well, who would steal it? Money, greed. And if we don't find, it'll be the end of everything, even your pension. Now, it may not seem funny to other people, but again, just the way he said it, I don't know, it just seemed like a very interesting, likable character. And he's able to get his hands dirty as well, where there's a guy trying to kill him, where they're in this limousine, takes him to the middle of nowhere, the guy tries to kill him, and Doctor Who grabs him, punches him out. They get caught, they escape. He does this one move on a guy where I thought he broke the guy's neck. But kind of one of those, like, you take a guy to, like this, like, Phew. So I thought, oh, he broke the, I thought, even thought I heard a sound of breaking the neck. But no, the guy just, like, wakes up like this. And by part 3, they find out Chase in his mansion, this is where the other pod is. They look into it, they get caught, they escape. The girl gets caught again. And they're ready to infect the girl, Sarah, because they want to see what this infection will do. You go to part 4. Now, this part I thought was for the most part useless. I thought could have been completely taken out. Now, you keep the bit where he jumps in through the skylight, beats a few folks, hits a guy with a stool, gets the girl, and they escape. But this was filler. One of the henchmen got hit by the tentacle. He's slowly turning. Datu and the girl get caught again. There's a lot of chatter. Kind of the same thing over and over again of chatter. The guy slowly turned into a monster. The girl's trying to help him. He turns more into a monster. Doctor Who is tied up. He's going to be grinded up in the meat grinder. The girl goes up and saves him. Okay, I get that you needed the guy to turn. But I think in part 3, you could have had it where the guy gets, they have the pod to chase, they're testing on it, grabs them, start changing in part 3. You'd add like a couple, 5 minutes to part 3. Just 5 minutes is a long time if you only have a 25-minute or so show. So just put another 5 minutes in there and just have that in it. And let's just go to, by the end of it, he's changed to the creature, and then by the beginning of the next part, it's become bigger and bigger. Because part 5 and 6, I really enjoyed. Because he's become a big plant creature, eats a guy, right? You don't see much. Doctor Who, the girl, and the henchman, they get trapped. It becomes a bit like a siege movie. A tentacle or two breaks in. They try to figure out what to do. Try to figure out what to do to escape. You realize that Chase, he's kind of possessed by the creature and it's infecting more things, so even his garden will come alive and attack you. The doctor has the spray. He's finally gotten to the military guys. He's got the spray to use on the creature. And then by part 6, the creature's as big as a house. And it's literally breaking through the building. The building's crumbling down. Even more like a siege. That asshole Scorby henchman, he won't listen to reason. He's a prick anyway. He tries to escape. But then as he's going through this pond, plants grab him and literally pull him down and drown his ass. Which, for this kind of show, seemed pretty violent. It may not seem violent to most shows and movies nowadays, to be fair, but I just mean for Doctor Who, it's like, ooh, okay. There really is like a bit of a horror scene. That guy tries to pull Doctor Who once again into the grinder, but he pushes him into the grinder. They escape. The military shoot missiles at the house with the creature. You see wide shots, a little bit like a Godzilla movie. We see the big creature with the tentacles, which I didn't mind because I'm a sucker for that. I love those old Godzilla movies. I love those old like big creatures using whatever it can, whether it be a man in a suit or wires or whatever it is they're doing. I don't know if they use stop motion. Maybe they couldn't afford that, but that was fun to see. A big giant creature involved and blown up these bottles to blow up the mansion. Although I'm like, man, that's all it took? You just had to use missiles and blow the shit out of it? Okay. I guess it wasn't as tough as you think. But I guess, it's still, I mean, the way Doctor Who made it seem like, oh man, there's nothing that can stop it. I'm like, yeah, some missile shut up his ass to stop it. But nothing wrong with blowing up your monster. And hey, when the monster's dead, the stuff is over. So that's what I mean. Overall, like, it was a story that kept me intrigued. It kept me hooked. Other than part 4, I think that could have been almost completely cut out. I mean, I know you need it with the guy turned to the monster, but like I say, just incorporate that into part 3. But like I said, I like that they were kind of the Arctic setting. I thought was a nice setup. I like the idea that they had the creature get bigger and bigger. I didn't think that. I just thought, oh, it's just gonna be people in these suits waving their tentacles around. No, it's the fact that, oh, it's bigger than this shack now. Oh, it's bigger than this mansion now. So I like they played up to that. I didn't say there's a nice miniature explosion, so it felt like a bigger deal than some of the other Doctor Who's episodes that I've seen, at least of the older ones. So it felt a little bit more ambitious. I like the girl that played Sarah. I thought she was spunky and she could hold her own. She wasn't too much of a damsel. She wasn't too much useless. And Tom Baker. Tom Baker had a good sense of humor. He had a... When he was pissed, you felt it. When he had this wisecrack, at times it was funny. He was capable. He was smart. And I liked him quite a bit. So, yeah, the Seeds of Doom. I can see why Ciaran requested this. If I saw this as a kid, I mean, I enjoyed it now. I would have, but as a kid, I mean, I wish I had seen this when I was a kid on PBS. Maybe I would have seen more of Doctor Who if that was the case. Now, granted, that maybe that's not fair. I doubt every Doctor Who is like this, to be fair, but I liked it. And it's my favorite Doctor Who so far. Maybe I'll tell it that way. My favorite Doctor Who so far. So, take that for what you will. Thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.